What's going on, guys? Finally getting a chance to get out and do a little shooting, and I wanted to bring y'all along. What I want to do today primarily is get this bad boy zeroed in and kind of give it a little initial valuation. I mentioned to you guys a few weeks ago that I'd picked this up. This is the 3X compact scope that Primary Arms is doing. I'll go ahead and apologize before I get any further. It's crazy windy out here today, so there might be a lot of wind noise, not a whole lot I can do about that. It's also high noon and there's not a cloud in the sky, so the sun's just kind of truly making everything daylight. That said, I really think that this scope has the potential to be one of the best possible options, possibly, for the armed prepared citizen. After having just played with it a little bit around the house, dry fired it, that sort of thing, it's got a lot of things going for it that I really like, including some things that I really hadn't even given that much thought to myself previously. So what I'm going to do is get this thing zeroed and then kind of run it through some drills. I'm going to try to bring you guys along. I don't want to make this a 4-hour video you just watching me zero it. That'd be kind of boring. So I'll do what I can and kind of skip through here and there. This is the object, okay? Now it comes with a mount that's a double thumb nut mount. Really good friend of mine was kind enough to send me one of these GDI, if you can see that, Global Defense Initiatives throw lever mounts, okay? These mounts are made for ACOGs, and the Primary Arms site takes an ACOG base. So any ACOG base, throw lever, whatever, will work with this site. So I've got this on here. This is my factory Bravo Company AR. I'm just going to be using plain old 55 grain full metal jacket rounds. And we'll get her zeroed, and like I said, run a few drills, and I'll give you some thoughts and try to, get you a little bit of footage as we go along. So hang tight, let me get a few rounds to it and get her on paper, and we'll get after it. All right, guys, I got her pretty well zeroed, and quite honestly, it took less than 20 rounds to get it zeroed. So that was pretty nice. I love when I can get an optic zeroed and I don't have to spend freaking 4 boxes of ammo to do it. So yeah, it seems to be hitting real good. I'm gonna just put a few on steel real quick just to verify it and let you guys watch real quick. We'll just make sure it's there, and then we'll get on to doing a few things. Hitting it every time. So, all right, let's run a few little quick drills and kind of see where we get. All right, so one of the things I wanted to take into consideration and check out with this optic is it's a fixed 3-power optic, okay? And for the most part, I think most people are probably running non-magnified red dots, myself included. This obviously gives you a little bit of an advantage the further out you get because of the 3X magnification, but is it going to be a hindrance if you have to be up close and personal? Now, I don't foresee, in my opinion and scenarios, us having to do, us being armed prepared citizens, survivalists, preppers, whatever term you want to use, I don't see us having to engage in a whole lot of CQB in a catastrophic situation. I'm not talking about day-to-day like home defense, but you know, raw situation, crap hit the fan, zombie apocalypse, whatever. I think we're probably gonna really face most of our threats more at medium to intermediate type distances. Not to say we won't, face stuff close up. So that's what I want to see. With the way this reticle's designed, you've got the real precise center dot for precision shooting, but then you've got the inverted horseshoe for close-up work. So nothing scientific here. I'm just going to come up and down on target a few times and just see if I can quickly acquire the reticle, superimpose it over the target, and get hits on it. That's all we're worried about when it comes to CQB like this. So let's see what it does. Seems to me to work pretty good. I didn't have any problem picking up the reticle, and that's really kind of my first time doing that with it. So in my unprofessional opinion, just from a few minutes of doing that, if I get some good timing with this on the range a little bit more, get a number of rounds through it and some experience with it, I think CQB is not going to be a problem with this optic. Now, getting back into the reticle, let me talk about this real quick. The reticle in these is an etched reticle, okay? So with it being an etched reticle, that means that it's always visible on the glass. It's all black, it's always there. Doesn't need batteries, doesn't need light, doesn't need any kind of power source. I think for us, that is a really big bonus because we don't know how long a situation may last. It may be a couple of months or it may be years. So if we no longer have the ability to have batteries, having that etched reticle means it's always going to be there, battery or no battery. Now this does take batteries, and you have a job on top to adjust the brightness and it will illuminate it. It'll turn that black reticle red, which obviously makes it even faster to pick up. And let me just say real quick, I apologize if I'm yelling, guys, but I know this wind is really blowing, and I'm just guessing it's wreaking havoc on the mic on the camera. So I'm not trying to yell at you. I'm just trying to keep my voice up above the wind so it doesn't get droned out by the excess noise. So anyway, you've got the capability to illuminate the reticle, but if you don't have batteries or it goes dead, you've still got the solid black reticle. It's always going to be there. That to me is a real big plus. In the past with my red dots, I've always just counted on, stock up batteries as long as I can, and then, run it as long as I can run it. And when I can't run it anymore, I just switch back to iron sights. With this optic, I don't have to worry about that. I'm always going to have that black reticle. And again, repeating myself, but I really think that could be a key asset for the purposes that we're talking about here. I'm going to step back a little bit and zoom in on the target up there. I'm going to get back to, I zeroed it at 50 yards. I'm going to get back about 25 and see if I can hit the little swinger up there on the head. So let me see what I can do with that. All right, so I missed two there. I made the mistake of bracing myself on one of the little pine trees, forgetting in the back of my head about this crazy wind blowing. And these little small pine trees tend to wave ever so slightly. And two of those shots, the tree was wiggling all over the place and I just didn't pay attention to it. So, knucklehead me. All right. Let's step on back a little further and do a little bit more shooting with this and kind of see what we can do. All right, guys, I'm back at 100 yards now. So I'm gonna zoom in on the steel up there and see if we can get a couple of hits on it from back here to 100. Again, the wind, I don't know what kind of havoc the wind's gonna wreak, because it is really blowing in here and it's kind of swirling and changing directions in all the trees. So we'll see. Let me get zoomed in down there real quick and we'll see what we can do. All right, so 4 for 4 from 100. That tells me right now it's easily minute a man with the 0 that I've got and the ammo that I'm using. So you can't ask for much better than that, especially on a windy day like this, and me just getting a rough 0 on it. So let's do a couple more things and then we'll wrap it up. All right, guys. So I ran a few more drills. And unfortunately, I forgot to turn the camera on. Thought it was on, but it wasn't. And I don't have enough time to reshoot everything. So you'll just have to take my word for it when I say it's shooting pretty doggone good. I am thoroughly impressed. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do a little 5-shot group just to kind of do a final accuracy check on it. And then we'll put one more volley on the steel and then we'll probably wrap it up. So let's see what she'll do. Alright, so let's go take a look at that one and see what it looks like. Alright, so that last group was that one right there. Those are from earlier, and that one goes up here. So, right here, again, just using plain old 55 grain M193 ammo. So it's not like it's match ammo or anything like that. And crazy windy, yada yada. So that all said, I'm a happy camper with that. We'll get back here and close it out at the table. For our purposes, like I've said, I think this site's a winner. I really do. Alright guys, so we're going to close it out for now. I'm going to get back and do some more, hopefully on a little less windy day, and when I can plan things out a little better and do this a little more in depth. But for the time being, let's close it out on a little steel and send it some love. Yep, that'll work. Alright guys, so to wrap this one up, now that I'm back inside and can actually talk to you and not feel like I'm in the middle of a freaking hurricane with the wind blowing, I'm going to go back and do another range trip with this one and get a little bit more footage, do some more things a little bit more in depth. Unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, kind of sort of missed some of my footage by forgetting to turn the camera on when I thought it was on. And I didn't have time to reshoot it because I had other things I had to get to. So I was already planning on going back and doing another video on this anyway, simply because this first one was just more of a introductory kind of get to know me thing, where I wanted to kind of see how the site worked, get it zeroed, and give it that kind of that initial test run, so to speak. So that said, I'm really impressed with it so far. Again, gonna do another video. I want to get back, a couple more range trips at least before I make any kind of definitive statements. But initial thoughts from me, I love this site. This thing is absolutely amazing, especially considering the price point. What you're getting for the money, I don't know that there's a better deal out there right now on a good optic. I'm a real big fan so far of just all the little nuances and details of this one. Again, just to repeat myself, for the unprepared citizen, we're the survivalist, the prepper, whatever. We have to take into consideration two different contexts. One being right now current everyday, self-defense type use, and then secondarily in a true, raw crap it fan type use. So far, I'm thinking that this optic's going to be good for either of those contexts. Again, the etched reticle I really like, and I'll be honest, I've had plenty of etched reticle optics in the past, but I wasn't looking at them years ago like I am now from the same reference point. I really think it makes a lot of sense. I love a good red dot sight, but I think that etched reticle for long-term use has a lot of pros going for it. I think the fixed 3x magnification, I think it's a really good balance of making those mid-range shots significantly easier without sacrificing very much for up-close work. Traditionally been a big fan of red dots. You've seen me mention in other videos. I've got a separate primary arms 3x magnifier to use with my red dots. I've been a big fan of that for years. Formerly, prior use being with an aim point and aim point magnifier, same concept. So that idea has always been big with me. Now you could get something that did that without having to have two separate pieces, but that was primarily via like an ACOG or something similar, and you were talking a lot of money. This gives me that same concept, but at a much lower price point. Again, I think the value for what you're getting is off the chart in my book. So I'm not going to keep rambling on forever. I really think this is so far looking to be a really good option. I love this scope. I'm definitely going to be putting more rounds through it and try to get y'all some better video. And continue to give you thoughts. We'll see if anything develops with it as I go. I've got zero reason to suspect that there would be any issues with it. Just don't see anything happening. This GDI mount, so far, love it. Only concerns I would have would be the throw lever is a little bit large compared to some other offerings. But, at this point, that'd be kind of just being nitpicky. It's not really an issue per se, at least not that I've discovered so far. I mean, it locks up good and tight. You can adjust it. It doesn't come undone real easy because it locks in place. You've got to physically unlock it to be able to move the lever. So, anyway, primary arms, fixed 3X sight. Really like it so far. we'll get some more for you. Stay tuned for that. It's probably going to be, unfortunately, probably a few weeks before I can get back out to where I got to go. I'm slammed with work and family and everything else for the next few weeks. So I'll get it to you as soon as I can. Just hang in there, be patient. So as always, thanks for watching. Stay safe, take care, keep on preparing, and we'll catch you back again real soon in the next one.